Warning, this podcast contains Barbara.
Mm-hmm. And a magician.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Gotham, Season 2, Episode 3, The Last Laugh. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Nikki. And my co-host, John.
Hey, bitch.
No. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
Sad I missed last week, but
It happens.
it's okay. I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back, and my God, what a week to come back.
I know.
Holy crap.
Yeah, okay.
Drop things while I'm at it.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
So, I mean, now in retrospect, this episode being called "The Last Laugh" kind of fits pretty well now. In DC universes, like comics, whatever. The Last Laugh was a storyline that centered around the idea that the Joker was dying. So it's very, very appropriate for this episode.
I guess.
But he's not the Joker. Now we know that.
Or do we?
He might not be dead.
Just because he was stabbed in the neck, right? The outside of the neck, he was bleeding through his mouth, which meant the knife penetrated his esophagus to allow blood to come out his mouth, thus also meaning the blood was going down his throat to swallow it, choke, and die. To suffocate on his own blood. Does not mean he's dead.
Not, he was in the morgue or anything, so.
Yeah.
This is the comic world. Anything can happen.
And you obviously know anatomy and comics because they go hand in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what they were getting at, especially judging by the ending of the episode, where like everybody just started cackling like maniacs, that like I think they were just taunting us, honestly. Like, look, anyone could be the Joker. We had you going. Suck it. I mean, that was basically what happened.
That's exactly what that ending was.
I mean, that's kind of what we said from the very beginning. Even though they were giving us all these hints that Jerome was the Joker, we're like, nah, he can't be.
Yeah, it's too easy.
And yeah, we even we're like, what if Barbara's the Joker? Or what if, Mooney's the Joker or something? We kept going on different routes because we just didn't believe Jerome was the Joker because he was too freaking obvious.
Right. And the more we got to see Jerome, the more I really wanted him to be the Joker.
Yeah, I was okay with him having an origin. I mean, that's what everybody's, they lie, they're taking big steamers on people's front doorsteps because they, the Joker had an origin. People didn't like that.
John loves that analogy. But, but Cameron...
Angry poops.
Cameron Monaghan, who played the Joker, he looks like the comic book and animated Joker more than I think any incarnation of the Joker that we've had thus far.
Yeah.
I would agree.
More than Heath Ledger, more than Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Definitely more than Jack.
I mean, those guys, it was the makeup. He had the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he kind of had, like, the Mark Hamill... He had, like, a cross between, like, the Mark Hamill laugh and the Heath Ledger laugh, and it just works so well. Like,
it was chilling.
It was. He really spent a lot of time on this character.
And if he pulls his own face off, he'll look like this.
Oh, wonderful. That makes sense. I mean, he probably got his everything kind of chopped away in the morgue. He comes back from the dead.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned that, because I just actually finished reading this comic, the Death of the Family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give it all away, but at one point, like, Batman's like, Joker, I know who the fuck you are. And Joker he flipped out. He lost it. And it was really great, because Batman, like, drew him close. His mother whispered into his ear, like, your name is... And Joker just flipped out and ran off. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Because, by the way, this is a good one. Death of the Family, but you have to read The Court of Owls and The City of Owls first. So that's your homework. Because
Yeah.
holy shit.
I don't like homework.
I mean, Lee Silver in chat, he's saying that Jerome held Bruce at knife point, and then when he bled, that Lee was thinking of the line, "We are fated to do this forever," and it really felt that way, and like even like the way that Jerome pointed out and said, "Oh, you know that the terrible pun, Nikki had to be dying on that one." Bruce has a split personality, you know, because we know he's gonna
You know
be
what?
Bruce, and you didn't catch that.
No, I did, and I ignored
Yeah.
the fuck out of it.
That's what I'm saying. You love puns, so I mean.
No.
Yeah, and Cleo saying in chat, "Come on, Dom. The setup is for 100 Jokers out in the world." Yeah, I know that. I know it, but I still don't think Jerome's dead. Like, to be
You hope.
completely honest, like I can't think at this point. They could completely like change my mind on this, but at this point where I stand, there is no better person to play the Joker than Cameron Monaghan. There's no
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he was doing a real great job.
Right. So I think by killing him and not allowing him to ever be on the show again is a mistake. And this is the comic book world, so anything goes. That's all I have to say.
And
About
they've
that.
already
Yeah.
made it clear that this is their own world, so they can do anything.
Yeah. I mean, so there was an interview I was actually reading about the one of the writers and stuff, one of the main writers, the head writer, who they were talking about whether or not they've ever considered the possibility of gender swapping any characters or any kind of surprise like that, because surprisingly, a popular fan theory out there is that Barbara can be the Joker. I know we said that, so I don't know where it started, but yeah. What are you looking at?
My cat is sneezing. She's
Oh.
having a fit.
Oh.
Are you okay?
So
That sounds adorable.
the writer's response was, "I don't want to give anything away, but we have 100% considered the possibility that the Joker could be a female." So the fact that they considered that
Mhm.
has me intrigued. And another interview I was reading around said, kind of think of this as almost like Flashpoint, where it exists in Batman lore, canon, whatever, but it's an alternate timeline.
Yeah, where Martha Wayne is the Joker.
Right. Martha Wayne ended up being the Joker in Flashpoint, and Thomas Wayne
Is Batman.
is Batman, and Bruce was the one that died.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah, there's all different.
Whew.
Yeah, so like if you go along with the DC with the Flash and all that, the tie-ins, then
It gets nuts.
yeah, then there's all these other universes that Batman is all these other different incarnations. So I don't know where we stand with this. We'll see a little bit as the show goes on, because right now it hasn't really completely destroyed Batman canon right now for the universe that we know. Especially now with the reveal of the Joker not being the Joker, the Jerome not being the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There's all different things. So we will see. But all right. So this episode started off with Jim and Bullock throwing people out of windows
That was awesome.
to try to get some more information on Jerome. Do you think Jim's taking on a little bit of a different attitude now after his run-in with the Penguins henchman guy? Guy that owed him money?
I don't even know if that was the big turning point for him. I think that was just that really did impede on his moral stability. But when the new commissioner was aced, that's when he went into full rage mode.
Mm.
So I mean, I think it's more or less he's just being super emotional right now, and that's why he's doing all the wrong things.
Man, I feel like I just need to shake him. Just take him and
Stop it.
Like a
just
ragdoll?
stop being stupid for just a second.
It's like a Homer and Bart situation.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't just go stomping around like a kid.
Yeah. But Jim is also kind of stepping up in a big way in the police station.
He's pretty much taken over,
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes.
And at this point, who's
Nobody
going to argue with him?
else. Nobody.
Oh, no one.
No.
I feel like he might even catch a promotion to at least captain at this
Yeah.
point. And that will at least get him climbing the police ladder a little bit up to commissioner at some point, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting to see a lot less officers there.
Yeah.
But he's like, only 8, and then the commissioner, and I'm like, really, that's all? It looked like the whole station was down to me.
Well, don't forget, that was, one day of work. People could have been off. People were out on patrol duty, as Cleo put last week. Anyone who was out, in their cars driving around.
There was still at least 25 people in the station
Oh, yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, easily.
And they all looked like they were out of the game at that point. But he said there were only 8, so all right.
I mean, some of them could have been shot and not had lethal wounds either. Could have been just shot in the arm. Shot in the leg.
Okay, well then they're really wimpy cops because they have a whole other arm and they still have their gun. They can still do something.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we start seeing a little more into Theo's, what his plans are for the Maniacs, and we see Barbara and Tigress kind of have this little relationship thing going.
We already knew that was
a little
going on.
Little. It was just a little.
No. Me and Cleo, we knew things were down.
Yeah,
right then and there.
They're mushing lady pots.
As soon as they were whipping the mirror together, it was like, oh yeah, they're in the bed together right frickin' now.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening.
Mm-hmm. But then at the end of the episode, we see Barbara show Theo a little affection, and we see Tigress getting jealous in the background.
I don't think that was affection. I don't think that was affection. That's her gravitating towards power and manipulation again, because she's susceptible to that, and she's just trying to get on his real good side.
Well, of course, but a kiss on the cheek is a sign of affection.
Yeah.
Not for her. She's crazy. That's just her trying to get into
it. You don't kiss your mother like that.
Yes.
I mean, I think she might be trying to pit the two of them against each other so she could wind up on top. I mean, I think she has a motive here.
Barbara likes it on top.
You heard it here first, folks. Mm-hmm. She has no bottom.
No. Maybe last season, not this season.
Maybe. Lots changed in this season.
Yeah, a lot has changed. Barbara wore an even skimpier costume this week than we've ever seen her in.
Yep.
And I do have to say, she wasn't looking too bad.
She actually was cute.
Yeah.
That hair at the party, my God.
Mm.
When she was still in her gown, was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What did you do?
She played the assistant to the magician, of course, being Jerome. That whole scene was amazing.
Yes. Even her digging at Leslie was just like, ooh, she's mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that part where the mask slipped off, and that's when it was funny because I didn't realize I should have, but I didn't realize that was Barbara at the time. And it's maybe a minute before the mask fell off. I was like, oh,
that's Barbara.
Yeah, that's Barbara. And then the mask fell off, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely Barbara. And for maybe the first 30 seconds, the first time that they showed the magician, I didn't realize that was Jerome until they cut to the body in the trunk. So it took me a second. I don't know. I was distracted when I was watching it.
All right, I was building Legos and I caught all that.
I was distracted, but I don't know. The whole magician thing was great. Calling Bruce up onto the stage. The sawing him in half thing. Alfred's like, yeah, go up, and then when he gets in the box, he's like, hold on, wait a second.
I don't like magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you guys surprised that Jerome didn't cut Bruce in half?
No. I think I mean at first I was, but I'm like, nah, he's gonna use this to make the audience, awe and like ooh, and then he's gonna bring someone else up on stage and kill them. And
Voila.
Yeah, you
what
called it.
happened?
I mean, it was really funny just watching Alfred kind of shaking his boots a little bit because he's such a little worrywart.
He was shaking in his pants a little too.
Yeah, he was shaking everywhere, especially because there was a pretty
So,
lady in front of him.
Oh boy. Woo.
so he was basically Taylor Swift.
Yeah, in that she's got bad blood.
I-
Is that what the was that the did I get it wrong? Ah, shit.
Just shake it
Was
off.
I never heard of that. What's that called?
It's shake it off, John.
Shake what off?
It.
Is it on me?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know the Bruce. I mean Bruce. The Alfred and Leslie scene.
They're so awkward.
It was awkward because we knew Leslie's situation. But
Yeah.
if that was just a random girl at the party, I thought it was adorable.
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful.
Alfred was adorable, but
Yes, he
because we
was.
knew Leslie's side of the story, and you know what, Alfred should have known better because she's like, oh, Jim told me about you guys and everything. He should have maybe connected the dots a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but he
And then
didn't.
at the end, he's like,
Yeah.
"You knew, didn't you?" And Bruce is like, "No, I swear I didn't." You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
This is so great.
But Lee said, Alfred's trying to hit on a woman that's 20 years younger than him. So what do you guys think of that?
He can reach.
That thing that doesn't matter nowadays. People don't give a crap.
It's true.
If you're attracted to someone 20 years younger than you, as long as they're legal age, go for it. Try it.
Try it.
They can say no, and that's
That's
exactly
the
what's
worst
most.
that could happen.
Yeah, that's the worst that can happen.
I mean, the worst that I saw was Leslie actually seemed interested.
I think
'cause
she was just
she's-
trying to be nice.
Well, and then he like just dropped the restaurant. She's like, "Wait, what? You can get in there?"
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was the moment when she's like, huh,
Might take a little walk on the other side of retirement.
yeah.
I don't know. It was funny. It was really funny. And then just the setup for that at the end where he's like, "You son of a bitch, you know." Just so perfect.
And Lee also said what's freaky is Alfred didn't even ask if Leslie was single. And I unfortunately want to say that also doesn't mean very much these days.
It really doesn't.
No, unfortunately. But
That's not the first question that comes out of people's mouth when they're attracted to somebody.
I feel like he's also probably been out of the game for a while. You know?
Just a
I mean,
little
let's
bit.
be honest.
A little.
He's not been dating
He's been locked up in Wayne Manor, like blowing holes in the Batcave.
for 20-ish years, we'll say.
Making tea and crumpets.
He probably hasn't gotten out much. So, I don't know.
Cleo
Cleo.
just said if she was single, she would have hit that.
No, totally. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. But
But
no.
the thing was, there was some hesitation at the end when Jim was like, "Hey, how about that kiss?" And she's just like,
I think she didn't want to hurt his feelings.
"Hmm."
I mean,
She wasn't really
Leslie's-
looking to see if he was looking or anything like that, so I don't really know if she was focused on Alfred at the time because he was already walking away at that point.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So maybe she was just like,
I think sums up, like, I think she's just having doubts about Jim because of, she knows he did something bad for the Penguin.
Right.
She doesn't know what it is. But I think that's actually, like, made her view him differently, and she's just not ready to take that on anymore. She doesn't want to say I love you anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not if she's playing him, and was from the very beginning.
I think I think they were just trying to mirror the scene with them in the precinct where he was like, "Okay, fine, I'll kiss you," where she was just in a very stressful situation, and she's like, "Okay, I'll kiss you." So I think they were just trying to show like, that they can pull each other out of the dregs a little bit And I think it wasn't meant to show like that she was doubting or anything like that. I think it was just meant to show like, she could pull him up, but he could also pull her up too.
Right.
I don't know if it goes any further than that. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I think at the very surface level, that's what they were getting at.
Yeah, and we're also kind of having a similar situation with Bruce and Selena.
Yeah.
Like, Bruce is still interested in Selena. She's still interested in Bruce, but
Yeah.
there's something that doesn't quite sit right with Selena that she won't, she won't act on it. She wants to, but she won't.
She's still in her own little world. I mean, she
She
doesn't
is.
think Bruce can help her, but he can.
Yeah.
It's not just because of money. He can, like, emotionally help her
Yeah.
just by looking at her.
I mean, she led him out, and Bruce, he's like, I have to go back for Alfred. Selena's like, I'm not going back. And Bruce is like, well, I am. And then he
Also,
just
I miss
turned
you.
and he's like, yeah, I miss you. And I'm just like, aww.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she left, but then she saw Jim, and Jim, that's how Jim ended up getting in. But then we saw she didn't just leave like she typically would. She went back to make sure Bruce was okay. She didn't confront him. She just wanted to make sure he was okay.
I mean, she still cares about him, but she clearly doesn't want to.
Right.
She's trying really hard not to, but it's not working.
Right.
Which is basically going to be their story for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And that's kind of also a parallel of what's going on between Barbara and Jim. Jim doesn't give a shit about Barbara, and Barbara is still infatuated with Jim.
No, I think he does give some shit.
Some?
Some. He think he cares for her well-being. He wants her to get better, but he doesn't want to be with her.
Yeah.
No, Barbara insisted that her and Jim were getting back together.
Mm-hmm.
Insisted.
And Leslie was just going to be a bad dream.
Yeah.
Now,
in Batman canon, that would happen.
That is true. They technically did end up together, but I think it's too far gone. I don't think it's happening.
I don't want to say it's too far gone, but what I think is going to end up happening is something is going to happen against Jim's will, and Barbara's going to end up pregnant with Jim's child. And that's how we're going to get Batgirl. Because she is so infatuated with Jim, she's not going to stop.
We might get Batgirl from him and Lee.
We could. I'm not saying it's impossible, but until we have some concrete evidence, because like I said, they're dancing on a fine line right now between breaking canon and staying in canon.
Yeah.
And until they do something 100% to confirm on the show that this is not Batman canon, then, like I said last week that all bets are off. I still kind of believe that, but they still really haven't done it yet. So
yeah, they haven't committed to like just saying, abandon all canon and we'll just do our own thing. It hasn't happened yet.
Right.
I don't know. They don't have to rush into that though.
They don't. I mean, something could happen with her. She could reform. She could save Jim's life. Turn on the maniacs. Actually turn into a normal person again. Be sweet.
Yeah.
Something happens to Leslie and Jim on their own without Barbara interfering, and they break up, and Jim and her try to reconcile. It could happen. I'm not saying it's going to.
She was a terrible normal person.
She was. And I much prefer Barbara as a maniac. Or a maniacs. Or the Animaniacs.
Sorry.
That is cute in Yakko Yaks. No, it's not going to be on Splat. Animaniacs was not a Nickelodeon show. It was Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know that shit.
They lived in the tower.
Mm-hmm. And then Theo's big plan. He turned against Jerome at the end. He kind of whispered to him. So, unless this is still like a plan to stage this, and Jerome isn't I think Jerome's dead right now, but that's not to say he can't come back. But the fact that they took him to the morgue is what has me thinking he's actually dead. But I started thinking before the morgue scene, I'm like, all right, did Theo and him stage this on Barbara's behalf? Because Barbara was the only one that was listening to that conversation. She was the only one close enough to hear it. The rest of them had no clue what was going on. So I was like, eh. And then we hear Barbara, like, looking up to Jerome, at the end when she's alone with Theo. And she goes, oh, he had potential. He's good. So that's even leading into the fan theory of Barbara could be the Joker kind of thing, because that's all she admired him, kind of thing.
I mean, that's cool and all, but I mean, I don't like the actress enough for her to butcher the Joker.
Yeah,
that's probably my big gripe with it too.
Yeah, and I don't know, because Theo did say that, like, Jerome didn't follow the plan, so maybe he really was just punishing him.
Maybe he wasn't supposed to kill the deputy mayor.
No, I feel like he was.
Maybe. I don't know what. That's what I'm trying to feel like. What part of the plan he didn't do or like did wrong? I don't know. I don't know what the problem was, if there was one.
Yeah. Lee's asking, do we think they're going to put Jerome into the Lazarus pit? It's possible. I doubt it. It's a little too soon for Ra's al Ghul, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be looking at him and his name could be Theo Gallivan, but we just don't know it yet.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I can't really say it's too soon for Ra's al Ghul, but
he's obviously alive right now. He's been alive forever. So
yeah, he lives forever. But that's kind of a little like fan theory and stuff with the actual Joker himself is something involving the Lazarus pit, that the Joker is like alive forever as well.
Yeah,
he can't actually be killed. So I'm not saying that it's out of the realm of possibilities, because literally anything is. But I don't know. It's more wishful thinking because I want Cameron back on the show. I'm just trying to figure out ways to get Cameron back.
He came out of left field. He's an amazing actor. Like, when we saw him in the carnival last season, we only saw a little bit of him, but he was creepy as shit. And we see him in this season, and I fell in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to go back real quick, but there actually is a pretty popular fan theory that Theo is actually Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Fucking maybe.
I mean, he was playing around with the jungle juice in the first episode, so.
Yeah, so clearly he has some strange resources available to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like they were definitely trying to make that seem like Joker gas in that scene where they broke into his father's apartment.
Right.
Right.
So,
yeah.
They were definitely very, very clearly alluding to the Joker gas.
Mm-hmm.
So they were really laying it on
the title.
thick. Yeah, I mean they were really laying it on thick to make you think like, wow, shit, this is the Joker. And then they murdered his ass. So.
I don't know, the actor that plays Cameron has actually been in quite a bit. I was just looking. He's a regular on Shameless still currently. He's on that show. And he's been in Avatar, The Last Airbender, back in 2005. He played the voice of Poi and Ping in the Fortune Teller episode. He was on all the short little shows that you can imagine, Criminal Minds, Mentalist, Fringe.
Monk,
yeah.
He makes a good Psycho.
NCIS, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. He's been on a lot of stuff. So it's not like he completely came out of left field.
I mean, when people play short little roles like that, then especially in long-running shows like NCIS, you don't really remember them. You remember the main characters more.
Right. And he was actually even in Tim Allen's Santa Claus 3. He played Traffic Cop number 1.
Okay.
Great.
So I'm gonna have to go back and watch for Traffic Cop number 1. And then if I ever meet Cameron at like a convention where he's signing for Gotham or whatever, I'm just gonna have a photograph ready of Cop number 1 from the Santa Claus, and I'm gonna have him sign that. Because guarantee you, he's never signed that picture before. So yeah. Anyway, um,
Are you fucking serious?
yes, I'm serious.
Oh my gosh.
Because that would be a memorable thing for him at the convention. He's at a convention to sign Batman stuff, and
That
all of a
asshole.
sudden somebody
That
comes with
one
a picture
asshole.
of him in the Santa Claus.
Yep.
That
Yep.
that'll stick with him forever, forever. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. And then at the end we had Bullock confronting Penguin. And he was just like, I don't care if you're known as the crime lord king of Gotham. You will always be that umbrella boy to me.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, no, you didn't.
I love that speech. I mean, I'm so happy that Bullock is back. I'm so happy because his sass. Just let me hug you. I'll pat your back.
Yeah. But Penguin got pissed.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
fucking threw the wine glass, and then he's like, get me a drink.
Give me
Another drink.
Well,
Yeah.
sir, I'll have to get you a new glass too, because someone's a Tucker Thompson.
Yeah, and then the big thing, I think this was the first reference to Fish Mooney this whole season so far, the first 3 episodes, is when Bullock says, I still owe you for fish. So, glad that the show hasn't completely forgotten about her.
Yeah.
And the thing is about Penguin, he's all about, the paybacks and, being even with people. So I think that's what actually got him mad, is because he's like, Rick, he does. He's got a point. God, I'm going to get it bad.
Yeah. I don't know. This episode really felt more like a Batman episode than any episode of Gotham thus far.
They weren't
Yeah.
very fragmented, though. Like, we didn't see any of Nigma.
Right.
We didn't see any other, side characters. It was really focused on just this one event, which was actually really refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. We don't. It's nice to have the Enigma going crazy thing, but we don't. We don't need it
every time.
No.
Every episode. No, you don't need to rely on that. And luckily, maybe that's just the writers learning their lesson from last season, where it's every episode we got Enigma dropping a stupid pun and leaving. Maybe they're realizing we can just focus on our core characters, and it's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else before we go into next week?
No, I just want more of the show. It's been really, really exciting to watch so far. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were actually saying that the first episode was shit, and that all the plans that they have for this season just doesn't look like it's very good. And a lot of people were actually, before even watching it, were being like, "Oh, I'm never watching the show again. It's poopy." And
yeah,
that's it. I'm like, no, you can't
Just-
do that.
you gotta stick with it, man.
Yep.
Can't.
Next week's episode is called Strike Force. In it, Captain Barnes is called to duty to create a law-abiding task force with the help of Gordon. Meanwhile, Penguin gets caught up in a favor for Galavan, and Nigma asks Kringle out on a date in an all-new Rise of the Villains Strike Force. So, I thought Nigma was already asking her out on a date, so he's going to do it again.
So do again.
I think this time it's going to work, though.
I guess Captain Barnes is the actual replacement for Essen, and not what I thought Jim was going to get the
Wait,
job.
is Captain Barnes gonna be that guy from
The
Modern
Shield.
Family and Shield and
Yeah, it's that guy.
Okay. Awesome.
Generic cop actor.
Yeah, he
I
is a
forget
pretty
his name.
generic.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Jim's stepping up to take a role, but it's still too soon to make him commissioner.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't mean commissioner,
Yeah.
not at all. Maybe like a sergeant.
Right. Yeah, because it felt to me like by the time we caught up to the first showing of Batman and stuff like that from our origin stories, that it's right around the time that Gordon just started being commissioner.
Yes,
So-
yeah, that was his first. Well, if you follow the year one storyline, that was his first year as commissioner, and Batman's first year as Batman. So.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So I think that about wraps this up. Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24. LADYVENOM24.
Excellent. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at the No More on the Twitter. I can find it. I found it.
Found it. Find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
We need those bounce.
Did I
We
get
need
it
those
this time?
bounce balls. That follow the letters.
I was waiting for John to be like, shake it off, shake it off.
I still don't know what that is.
Oh.
You're gonna have to show me later.
No. Be happy you don't know if that's the truth.
It's not the truth.
Okay, well, fine.
You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week.
More of this shit.
Yep.
Rise of the Villains.
All the angry poops.
Oh my god, so many angry poops.